Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet and Good Torah. Okay, so we're continuing to learn Sefer Devorah by Rabbi Moshe Cordevero, the Ramak. And we're learning about the Yud, Gimel, Middos HaRachamim, the 13 qualities of mercy and compassion. And we are on number 6. And it is Ki Chafetz Chesed Hu, that Hashem, He desires chesed, He desires kindness. Okay, so the Ramak, he says that he explained in his other Sefer, Pardes Rimonim. It's one of the definitive Sefers of Kabbalah. And he says in his Shar Heichalos, and a Heichal is sanctuary, temple, a chamber. I mean, it's a palace in the spiritual world. So there's these, I think there's 7 Heichalos, and there's 7 Rikim, there's 7 different levels of Shemayim, of heaven. So he says that in a heichal that is known, he says the malachim amunim, the ministering malachim, the ministering angels, that they receive the gemilus chasadim, they receive the acts of kindness that a person does, and then that a person does in this world, in olam hazeh. So that this middos of din, this middos of judgment that we talked about in one of the earlier middos, that's mekad reges al Yisrael. That when someone chas v'shalom does an avera, it creates, we learned before this, mashchis, and then there's a prosecution. There's a prosecution against Yisrael, against the Jewish people. But now we're talking about when there's acts of kindness, they are actually the defense counsel. These malachim now, they're going to defend us. So immediately, the malachim, the angels, they show the chesed, this chesed to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Whenever any Jewish person does an act of kindness, these malachim immediately bring it in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He. And then He's marachem al Yisrael. Then Hashem is compassion upon the Jewish people. And why? Because of this midah, because chafetz b'chesed, that He desires chesed. What does Hashem desire? We desire many things in this world. But what does Hashem desire? Chesed, kindness. The world was created with kindness, and kindness is what Hashem desires. And that if even a person was chayavim, even a person would be found guilty because of this gomlim chesed, because of this, even a person did chas v'shalom so many averas and he was going to be found guilty, or even one very severe avera, and he was going to be found guilty in the Beis Din Shel Maila, the heavenly court. No, Hashem will now have compassion upon this person because this malach shows a chesed, a kindness this person did. And so this is also the time of the Bisman HaChorban, the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, destruction of the first and second temple on Tisha B'Av. So it's written in Yechezkel that Gabriel, this was written to Gabriel, and it's written in Yechezkel Hanavi, Ezekiel the prophet, in chapter 10, Pasuk Beis, second verse. It says, Bo el Beinos legalgal. And Hashem tells Gabriel, come to the place between the Galgal, and the Galgal are the Ophanim, and there are some kind of these spheres, these malachim that are spheres, and they're like the wheels of the Merkava, of Hashem's chariot and Shemayim. And he says, because Gabriel, he's the Sar Hadin. Gabriel, he is in charge of judgment, of justice, and Devorah, and strength. And they give to him permission to receive the power, the kochos of din. Gabriel is given by Hashem these kochos of din, these powers of judgment. And Beinos legalgal, and go in between these ofanim, these galgal, these spheres, these malachim that are spheres, mitachas la karuvim, in between, that these are under the karuvim. These are the malachim that were on the Aron HaKodesh, the 2 winged, malachs, and a golden representation was made of them on the Aron HaKodesh, on the Ark of the Covenant. Go in between them from the Eish HaMizbeach, go between, under the Keruvim, between the Galgalim, to the Keruvim, from the fire of the Mizbeach, from the fire of the altar in the Beis HaMikdash. And this may even be talking about the Beis HaMikdash Shel Maila, the heavenly Beis HaMikdash that will come down to build the third Beis HaMikdash, Bezrat Hashem. And that says this din of the Gevuras, the strength of the Malchus, the strength of the kingdom. And it will be din that will be like mischazek, strong and holding on until that someone will request to destroy everything. This din will just sit there. The judgment of all the affairs of the world will sit there just accusing and waiting to destroy the whole world. L'ka kea beit sasan shel Yisrael. Chas v'shalom, to destroy the offspring of the Jewish people. Mifnei shenis chayvu kalaya, because they are obligated, they're guilty of total destruction. Chas v'shalom. But then it's written in Yechezkel, and this is talking about the Maisa Merkava, the workings of the chariot, how Hashem runs and directs the world. And it says, Vayira lekaruvim tavnis yad adam tachas kanfehem. And it's very interesting. Yechezkel and Navi, Ezekiel the prophet, he says these malachim he saw, these karuvim, they have the face of like a young child, innocent, pure face, and there's the structure of a hand of a man underneath their wings. So these malachim are made out of fire and water. We can't even imagine that they can't exist in this physical world because you can't combine fire and water into a creation. But these malachim live in Shemayim. They're made of fire and water, and they have wings, but they have the hands, the hands of a man. You know, part of this malach is hands. And he saw the hands. And Sha'amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu LeGavriel, and the Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He, said to this malach Gavriel, he said, Heim gomlim chasidim elu im elo. But he says, but the Jewish people, they do kindness with each other. And it says in Vayikra Rabbah, Ba'af im heim chayvim, even if they're chayiv, even if they're guilty, nit solo v'haya lehem she'eris, save them. He tells Gavriel, save them, and they will be she'eris, the remainder, the survivors. V'hatam, and what's the reason? Mifnei midazo, because of this midah, Ki chafetz chesed hu, because Hashem desires chesed. He wants the people of the world doing chesed. And what's the two things? The only two things that can save us in ikvos de Mashiach, the footsteps of Mashiach, the times we live in now, is crazy times of mega super hurricanes, volcanoes, disease everywhere, fighting everywhere, war everywhere, crazy mass shootings. What can save us in these times? Two things. Learning Torah and gemilas chasadim, doing kindness for others. Learning Torah and doing kindness, and it can save us from all of this. So, because Yisrael, they do chesed, and this is the reason that they're recognized. And if there's only one of them, even if one of them is kosher, because of chesed, it can save us all. So therefore, this midah, it's fit for a person to guide and to direct his life with this midah. And even if you see a person that's doing evil to him and it angers him, you see someone doing something bad to you and it gets you upset, and if there is a side of tova, if there's a little piece of this person that does good, and does good for others, even this person doing something bad for you, but you know this person does good for others, and this is a great midah. And it can guide a person to keshura, to being kasher, upright, kosher, and this it can nullify Hashem's anger, and it can nullify Hashem's anger upon the person, and he wants in his heart with his people, and he desires kindness. Hashem desires kindness. He says, "Dai li betova zo sheyesh lo." It's enough for me that this fact that this person's doing kindness for other people, that's enough for me. Hashem says, even chas v'shalom, this person's doing averas all the time. He's doing all kinds of averas, but this person is kind to other people. Hashem says, that's enough for me. It's amazing. And kol shekain, even more, and my wife should hear this, kol shekain be'ishto, even more so. You should always look at your wife favorably and act kind to her and see all the kindness that she's doing. And to kid farsho raboseno zichram lebracha, that our rabbis, may they be remembered for blessing. It says in Masechta Yevamos, in the Gemara, it says, Dayenu shemegadlos es bainenu matzilos osanu menachet. And speaking about our wives, it says, it's just enough. Even if they do nothing else, it's enough that they raise our children and they save us from that chet. That's sin. Because it's not good for a man to be alone. So, kach yomar al kol adam. And we say this upon every person. Dai li betova palonis shasa li. That it's enough for this person. It's enough for this person that he does good. That's enough for me. Or that you do with another person, or that this midah, this good midah of this certain person, that's to him. The yikiyeh chafetz chesed, because Hashem desires chesed. So we should look kindly at other people, and if we see other people doing kindness with other people, that even if they say something we don't like, they do something else we don't like, look at the good in them, that they're doing kindness, and we should become people that are doing kindness, doing chesed, and this is what Hashem desires, chesed. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you back again soon on Sweet and Good Torah.